So the beginner progression has been cooked.
Dr. Emesi. Diagnosis. Z travelers.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today's video we will be discussing the new changes with regarding the infamous beginner friendly, freshy friendly, newbie friendly technique, the margin mark. Now, if you guys don't know, margin mark is a technique that you can use in the game, which you can stack on top of forms, and this technique you can obtain it early on in the game from the NPC called Babadi. Now, when I say early on in the game, I mean the Saiyan Saga, like literally when you just start, since Babadi has a power level of 13,000. The Saiyan Saga, there's some Saiyan Saga NPCs that I think do get to around that power level, if I'm not mistaken, right? And yeah, you can actually get margin mark pretty early on before you actually leave up for Namek. But there's been some changes, right? It has now become more anime accurate. So what I mean by that is, so you'll know how Vegeta, or let me not say Vegeta, but everyone per se, that Babadi mind controlled with the margin power, the margin mark, they were all bad people. They were all terrible people. They did some evil deeds, right? Vegeta himself, he did some evil deeds, and when Babadi, controlled him with the margin power, he had some evil in his heart, and Babadi obviously, manipulated and used that. So now, to actually use margin mark in the game, you need to be of evil lineage, right? So what I mean by that is that you have to be an evil player, you have to do evil deeds, and the way you do evil deeds in this game is by getting bounty. Now, how you get bounty? You get bounty by killing, just killing people. Really, that's pretty much what you do. You get bounty by killing people. Now, that is obviously if you are. I don't think if you're in the Galactic Patrol you get bounty. I think you shouldn't. But if you're not in the Galactic Patrol and you go around killing people, you will gain bounty. So you get 300 bounty per kill, right? And you need this bounty not only to use margin mark, like you need to activate it, and not only that, you need to have bounty to maintain margin mark for whatever duration that you want to use it for, right? If you can see, I currently have 0 bounty, and I'm not going to get bounty because there is some advantages and disadvantages for having bounty. Now let's first start about the advantage of having bounty, right? So if you go around killing people, you get 300 bounty per kill, right? And the more bounty you have, the longer you can use margin mark for. And not only that, more bounty you have, the stronger margin mark also gets. But there is a catch. There is a catch. For now, the system is still new. It is still being worked on. We will update. I will update you guys whenever there is changes. But for now, from what we have seen from people playing the game, people with bounty and all of that, if you have bounty, right, a high enough bounty. So for now, we have not confirmed anything below 600 bounty, but we know 600 bounty above. We have confirmed that if you have that amount of bounty, you can get sent to prison, right? Not only that, so this one guy, Ryu, he's the one that confirmed it. So not only that, if you try to use Hell Key, it will not work. You will get sent to prison. So it means if you have bounty, you can't do hell. Or let me not say if you have bounty, you can't do hell, because that's after he went to prison. So he tried to use the Hell Key, got sent to prison. So his Hell Key did not work. He actually got sent to prison instead. After getting out of prison, he could not leave the planet, or the planet space. Space also counts, but the place that he was locked up in, he could not leave it. After his prison time ended and he was set free, he could not leave that place. He could not join the hyperbolic time chamber, and his hell was put on cooldown again. So we say that you also can't do hell when you have bounty. And not only that, if your bounty gets high, like too high, the admins, yeah, like the, let me not say admins, but let me say the god ranked, because this is a law-based game. So law, people that are ranked in the law, like the gods, they are allowed to come and execute you. So if you have too high of a bounty, you will be killed. So these are the downsides of having bounty, or let me say having too much bounty, right? And so far, the only way to grind bounty is to actually kill players. Sorry about that. I had to make a quick cough. Sorry about that pause. So yeah, that is how you can use a margin mark. Now we have not confirmed how much stronger margin mark gets when you have bounty, but what we do know is that once you have bounty and you activate margin mark takes 10 bounty per second. So if you have 300 bounty, you can use it for 30 seconds before margin mark runs out. So you have 600, you can use it for a minute before margin mark runs out. So yeah, it takes 10 bounty per second. So your bounty will go down by 10 for the duration that you have margin mark on. Yes, you can turn margin mark off to save the remainder of your bounty. And not only that, the only way to lose bounty so far is by using margin mark. I did test that out myself. When I had 600 bounty, I got a Galactic Patrol member to come kill me, and that did not reset my bounty. Then again, this system is still new and is still being worked. There might be ways to remove bounty from getting killed by Galactic Patrol members. They might be able to hunt a person down. Yes, I may look like I'm wearing the Galactic Patrol outfits, and you may ask, oh, how do you have bounty when you're a Galactic Patrol member? So, well, I'm using the outfit, but I'm not actually part of the Galactic Patrol. But I will say that there has been reports. It's not fully confirmed yet. Take what I will say here with a grain of salt, but there has been some talk that there are Galactic Patrol members with a bounty. So yeah, which it also does make sense, because we do have some corruption going around in the world, and yeah, even the good guys can be corrupt. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So what does this mean for the new guys, the beginners? So since margin mark was a technique that new people could obtain very early on in the game and get a 4 times X that they can stack on top of their transformations, this technique is no longer viable for them anymore because of the bounty. So we're not saying that I'm not trying to say that oh, now it's impossible to play the game or anything. No, it's not. You can still play the game even without margin mark. There is still other techniques you can get pretty early on in the game, like Kaioken, for example, the Kaioken technique, which drops from King Kai. Right, so yes, it is not as early as margin mark, and Kaioken does have the 200% extra damage taken drawback and the health drain drawback. Yes, it does have that, but it is still a stronger technique than margin mark. Instead of it giving you a 4 times boost, it gives you a 5 times boost. That number may sound small, a 1 increase may sound small, but in this game it is huge. Trust me, it is big. It is big. That difference, that one difference could be you being able to tank an NPC or not. Right, so that number is big. But yeah, so there is other techniques you can get early on in the game now, and we're not saying that your progress is cooked. You're progressing without margin mark, which is what a lot of newbies actually do, because they don't know that you can actually get margin mark from Barbary, and they don't know that Barbary is actually as weak as Barbary is. Obviously, now that there is more freshers knowing this, because we players that are more informed about the game, that have progressed it, and actually got the information, know that wait a minute, new players can actually get margin mark pretty early on, and now that it's more well known, right, a lot of people are getting it, and it has been out there that, oh wait, people are getting margin mark too early in the game, which was not supposed to be the case. Yes, you can still go fight Babadi and obtain margin mark right now, but you just won't be able to use it unless if you are an evil person, unless if you have bounty, enough bounty to actually use it in a fight. But then there is another technique that you can use as an alternative for margin mark, which is this technique right here, potential release. This technique does give the same power level boost as margin mark, though they do give different attributes aside from the power level boost, right? Margin mark has the damage reduction and the extra damage received, which something potential unleashed doesn't have. So potential unleashed does not have damage reduction. It does have increased damage, but it's not as high as margin mark. And another thing potential unleashed has is the extra M1 extra like movement speed, so which also counts for the attack speed as well, which is something that margin mark does not have. And the attack speed is actually very useful because potential unleashed gives you the same attack speed as Super Saiyan 2, so that is very huge, since you can get the same attack speed as Super Saiyan 2, and you can get potential unleashed from killing Mr. Popo, which yes is not as early as Kaioken. In fact, it's even a bit later on than Kaioken, but it's still an alternative if you want to have a technique that gives the same power level boost as margin mark and does not drain your health the same way as Kaioken. But yeah, so this is pretty much it. Newbies, you guys can still get margin mark, just know it won't be viable unless if you have bounty. And I'm not saying that oh, you can't progress, you still can progress. It's just that since people did not know about margin mark, if you got margin mark before it was now changed to be more anime accurate, if you had margin mark, your progression from the Namek saga will be faster than it's supposed to be, right? But obviously now that it's more anime accurate, you can still make it faster than it's supposed to be by just killing people, but as a freshie yourself, you are stuck targeting other freshies and you could potentially make an enemy out of people. So that's one thing to note. And if you get too much bounty, there is penalties. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that having bounty does have its drawbacks. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say to you guys. Just a little information about the new changes going on, in case you were wondering what's going on with margin mark, how it works and stuff. This is pretty much how it works. This is what we know and have so far. As I said earlier on, we will come back to this whenever there's been more news and updates about margin mark. But yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.